After our first cruise, we realized that it could have been so much better had we known a few things. So in this video, we're going to share our top 5 things we wish we knew before our first cruise.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Amy.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are Beyond the Dock. So the first thing that we wish we knew before our first cruise is to book ahead. Often there's different dining experiences that you want to book. Excursions, sometimes they don't have room for more.
Yeah, with dining, they fill up fast. So you want to book as soon as they open them up. When they open up booking, they don't open up all of the spots right away. They only open up like 10% or 20% or so, depending on which cruise line. So you'll want to pay attention to the date and book as soon as you can. Number 2 is the app. So most cruise lines have an app that you can install, and once you're on board, you can start using this app. And on the app, it has the available activities as well as your dining options and things like that. So once you are on board, you'll want to book your activities as soon as possible because they also fill up quickly. And if there are certain activities that you want to make sure that you see, you got to book those right away.
You can also often use the app to contact each other, especially if you don't have a service. You can still message each other often through the app, those that are with you. The app often has things that are important to know for your first day too. There's always a muster drill, so they teach you what to do in case of an emergency, and you'll have a specific station to go to. Often the way they do it now is it's through the TV in your room, you watch a video, they know you've watched it, and then you go to your muster station and they mark you off. It used to be, they used to pack everyone in a specific spot, and it was really uncomfortable. You'd have to wait for everyone to get there and go over things with you, but they've found a way to make it a lot easier.
Yeah, the in-person muster drill was the worst. It was in person on our first cruise, and it was miserable standing out because we were outside on the deck. It was hot. We were all packed together like sardines, and we were waiting an hour because they can't start until everybody is there. And there's always, that 1 or 2 people that don't feel like it's that important, so they're not in a hurry to get there. But everybody else was waiting on them, so don't be that person. Yeah. But luckily, you don't have to do it live on most ships. I know some are trying to bring it back, but you can also watch the video before you even get on your cruise. So that would be something good to do before you leave. Just get that video over with, and then it will make your cruise experience that much more enjoyable.
Yeah, each cruise line does it just a little differently. So just pay attention to those directions.
Another thing to be aware of on the first day is the rooms won't be open right away. So you'll need to carry whatever luggage you bring with you until the rooms are open. That's why we always drop our luggage off with the porters. So we just have our backpack with important personal items, and they can take our carry-on to our room when it's available. And also, the buffet is usually open when you first get on the ship. My first time, I didn't realize that we could just go get food. I thought that I had to wait till a certain time or till there was an announcement or something saying, okay, you can eat now. But yeah, you can, if there's food there, you can eat.
I've heard of people packing their own food because they didn't realize that things were no charge. That would be bad.
Yeah, you don't need to pack a lunch for your first time on
there's going to be lots of food. Yeah. No charge. Okay, our third thing we wish we knew before we went on a cruise is what to pack. Sometimes it can be a little confusing, and there's some tips that help. I felt like we had to buy t-shirts on our honeymoon because we didn't realize what you wear out to the beach is usually disgusting by dinner time, and you want to change. So sometimes you will want a beach outfit or excursion outfit or whatever the day is, and then something separate to dine because you will want to come back and shower and put clean clothes on. So it's nice to have almost 2 outfits a day, which we can still pack in a carry-on. Also, we love to pack and bring these little magnetic metal hooks. The walls of cruise ships are metal, so they stick to the walls, and there's not enough hooks and places to hang things. So these come in handy. We bring a lot to hang hats, towels, swimsuits when they're drying, your lanyard, lots of things. These come in handy, so I don't ever want to cruise without them again. It's also really good to think about what you're going to be doing every day. I like to really plan ahead and know the schedule. That way I can plan outfits. So you can think, okay, for this excursion, this outfit is going to be better. For this is going to be better. Usually there's a dining night where that's more dressy, so you'll need a dress for that. So know your schedule, plan accordingly. Helps out a lot. Then you don't have to buy clothes along the way.
Yeah, one other thing with packing that I wish I would have known was to pack something comfortable that you can wear on your feet on the ship. You don't want to wear tennis shoes and socks while you're on the cruise ship the whole time. So a good comfortable pair of flip-flops or slide-ons or something that you're comfortable with that can also handle walking around a lot would be very helpful.
Yeah, I have some comfy Nike sandals that are completely waterproof, and they have like a strap around the ankles, so they stay on really well, but they're really comfy too.
Number 4 on our list is taxis. We were really nervous about taking a taxi when we first started cruising. We just weren't sure how reliable the taxis were. We didn't want to take a taxi to a beach and then be left stranded and not be able to make it back to the ship on time. So we were so nervous about it, we just didn't go on taxis. But we realized later by researching and then also testing it out that the taxi services at the places we've been, for the most part, are very reliable. They depend on tourists as their livelihood, so they're going to take care of you the best they can. So sometimes we would go to a place and the taxi driver would ask us what time we wanted them to come back, and they would come back at that time and pick us up. And if there isn't a way for them to come back, there's usually a taxi service, like a taxi stop where they're waiting to pick up people. Or if you're at a resort or someplace like that, they can help you get a taxi. So you don't have to worry too much about getting taxis. Generally, you don't want to travel out too far away from the port, just because it is harder to get taxis if you're a couple hours away. But for the most part, we feel pretty confident with the taxi service now. Yeah,
most beaches or resorts have someone there, and they will make sure you have a taxi. Because there was one person that didn't come back and pick us up the time they said they were going to, but there were plenty of people there to get a hold of the exact person, and they knew who he was and could call him and help him come get us. So they do make sure you get back.
Yeah, they might not come at the exact time you told them to come back, but you'll make, as long as you give yourself a couple hours before you're due back on the ship, then you should be fine. There was a time when the taxi driver just never came and we couldn't really remember her name, and we waited. We gave her about 30 minutes and then we just took another taxi. So
yeah, that happened too. Yeah.
Kind of going along with the taxis is excursions. We often just go to the taxi line and tell them where we want to go or what excursions we would want to take. And they often have a list of things we could do that they will take you on. It could be a guided tour, or they could take you to some of the stops that you would go on anyway if you book the excursion through the ship. Yeah, I mean, it's limited, of course. They usually don't include boat rides or anything, but like beach tours, or if there's zip lining or other activities like that that are on the shore that you can go to, they can take you.
Yeah, they know the hot spots.
Yeah.
Also, you can book excursions online through a company that's not affiliated with the cruise line, so not through the cruise line, and it's about half the price. So, and it's safe, because we often wondered, are they going to bring us back on time? But they're very aware of the time and make sure to get you back. So it's a lot less money usually, and you'll have just as much fun. Our 5th thing is onboard credit. Often as an incentive, you will be offered onboard credit.
The cruise line could offer onboard credit as a promotion, or if you book through a travel agent, they might offer onboard credit. So there's a variety of ways that you could get onboard credit. So with the onboard credit, it's usually use it or lose it. Some cruise lines do let you cash out at the end of your cruise, but you have to go to the customer service desk and request it. Otherwise, you just lose it.
Yeah, don't count on it, but I would ask because it's nice to have that cash if you can get it. But definitely use it. We had a lot of onboard credit on our last cruise together, which enabled me to get a nice massage at the spa. So it was fun. It's fun to treat yourself to things that you wouldn't necessarily spend the money on, but you can when you have all that credit.
Yeah. And some lines let you use the onboard credit to pay for gratuity at the end. So if you have extra onboard credit, that can be applied to your final bill as well. So that's a way to help save some money on the cruise. So this sums up our 5 things we wish we knew before we went on our first cruise. Is there anything that we didn't mention that you would want to add to the list? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it.
If you'd like to hear more of our cruise tips and information, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so you won't miss a single video.
And until next time, we'll see you as we travel beyond the dock.
Happy cruising.